Okay. Yes. How can I help you?
I just feel I'm a little lost. Yes, since yesterday, because I really could manage to observe what was happening in the person,
Yeah.
like the emotions, thoughts, sensations, and I was really abiding in a nice presence and silence and calmness. And then, I don't know, yesterday, today, many things happened, and I feel overwhelmed by and I can't just be in the position of the observer. I feel like to be little just to settle down, but I feel in my body like a volcano, and
What?
I don't know what to do.
What happened?
And I know I don't have to do anything, but I still.
Yeah, it feels uncomfortable. So what happened? Like what set it off?
Something funny.
Yeah.
That I learned, so I have now to. I training course, and I have a situation with the teacher. It's really uncomfortable with her. She's very dictatorial, and I know it resonates in me. Yeah, with stories I have with my family. And then I had a good. I spoke with my boyfriend, and it was really wonderful because I could realize in my life the most important thing is really to realize who I am, and to realize the self, and to do this spiritual way or quest. I was in India for 1.5 months with Guji, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
But I still I'm doing things I don't really love in my life. To have time to do that, and he told me that do it. It's really perfectly fine, and even if you have to go away and perhaps it was nice. And then I talked to my mom this morning. She called me, and then she was completely freaking out. What, you are going to go away from us? Please do that when we are dead, but not now. And it really triggered a lot of guilt in me. And I think many things together, and it's I feel oppressed. I have like a big pressure on my chest, and I feel super sensible to everything. And my boyfriend said me one thing is like I'm like, whoa, reacting really strongly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you just shut your eyes now, so let's just go into it.
Yeah.
So what matters to you now?
Just to stay with what is now, and to try to follow it.
So what's now? Just describe it a bit to me. What's happening?
So I feel pressure on my chest,
Yeah.
In my throat, and in my belly.
Yeah.
And also like in my face, a contraction.
Yeah.
Like a nausea.
Yeah. So what the problem is for you is that you don't like what you feel now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was like fighting against it the whole day, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So internally you feel energetically contracted. You've got your chakra points are out of balance, so your chakras feel all tight.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hurting, and then there's an energy that doesn't want to experience that. It wants to have a better or different experience. So then what your mind does to try and relax you is it focuses on your life. So doing things that you want to do, doing different things.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
So just feel that. So your mind begins to swirl around in this mush of what you should do, giving this up, doing things for your mum, and not doing things, and none of it matters. What matters is right here, sitting on the seat, your back on the chair, the sound of my voice. And these existential questions about where your life's going or what your life is doing is irrelevant. But your mind hooks onto it and thinks, I've got to give up this, I've got to do that, I've got to change that, I've got to follow my heart, which is true, but your mind is focusing on it more because it's uncomfortable with currently how you feel. So just let it be here.
It's like an escape.
Yeah. And anything that you think about what you should do or your future at the moment is solely about trying to get out of what you feel now. So just forget about the future and what you're going to do and not do. And just come back to this.
Yeah. It feels good.
Yeah. So just recognize that your chakras are off balance. So if it's your throat, it's because in the past you've suppressed yourself or not said things. In that, and you don't need to fix it, it's just recognizing it. In the heart, it's because you feel lack of love or unloved or unseen, unappreciated. In the solar plexus, it's because you feel like you'll fail, that things will go wrong, that it's chaotic, that you can't do it, that it's too heavy. And in the stomach, it's a fear, that things are fearful and bad and negative and that you can't trust life. So just recognize that. And then in your head, it's contracted, and in your face because of overthinking. So just see all of that, that's happening in a vessel that's in this infinite space.
Can feel some vibrations everywhere. It's like the contractions are still here, but a little bit less.
Yeah.
It's more vibrating in the whole body.
So you can also put your attention into the discomfort and the uncomfortable areas. Just notice that all your stories are untrue. And if you want your chakras to be balanced, then you have to be in the positive story, or to feel good, that you can do it, that things will work out, that you've got lots of money and lots of resources, that you're capable, that life is for you, that you're worthy, that you're loved, that you can express yourself, that people hear you. And that makes your chakras open up again. But also you don't need to force it, it's just seeing it for what it is.
So I just let it be and stay with it.
Yeah.
Start doing nothing.
Your mind is going to be tempted to get lost in the circle between do this or do that. Go here or go there. Impress the mother. Do the other part. Do what you want. Do what you don't want. Got to earn money, not earn money. You want to run away. You don't want to run away. And just don't even try to make a choice or a decision when your energy's like this. Make a decision and a choice where you feel more balanced and more open. Like all trying to make a choice, all attempting to work it out is trying to avoid the feelings. Here we are.
Thank you. We'll continue to.
Yeah. It's going to keep pulling you because the chakras are uncomfortable. You're experiencing discomfort, so it's going to keep trying to pull you into mental activity to work it out. So you can keep oscillating between seeing that there's nobody experiencing it and it's happening in this huge space, and then looking at what the chakras are saying, that I'm worthless, that things won't work out, money's going to be a disaster, nothing good's going to happen to me, life is meaningless, life is hopeless, I can't cope with this, these negative thoughts. So you can see that they pull the attention, that there's a belief in them that they're true, and there's a belief that they're going to send you to hell.
Yeah. It's completely true.
Nice. Okay, I'll move on to someone else. I think there's something wrong with the live stream as well, so I'll go and fix it. But thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Lots of love to you, Claire. Bye.
Bye.
Oh no, it's working. Sorry guys about the stream tonight. There's nothing I can do about it. There's no preparation that would make it easier. It's the way it is. So let's go back to questions. Anya, hi Lisa. You once said that there was a time before or after your awakening where you could barely function. Could you speak about this a little? What did it look like and how did it affect your lifestyle and relationships and environment? And was that before or after the final dropping of self-identification? It still happens actually. It was before that big shift and after that big shift, and it still happens. Sometimes I feel like a real bozo that can't do anything. Sometimes this walking seems like such an abstract thing. But there was a period where it was so new that I think I was unsure, so I just did a lot of sitting, and then you kind of get used to it. I just did a little sort of sitting and gazing, and I don't like to say that the final self-identification has fallen away. It doesn't resonate for me. I feel like Lisa has to come back at points in order for functioning to happen. So there is a knowing here of who I am, and there's always a knowing of who I am. It's not an intellectual knowing, it's energetical, and it's known that this isn't somebody looking, that this is life experiencing itself. But sometimes energetically, there is more of Lisa here and sometimes less. Like when I'm doing certain things, when I'm talking about Lisa or talking about the past, it's almost like there has to be more of a character here. And when I'm by myself, it's totally empty. It's no bounds, no character, nothing. There is nothing and everything. Yeah. But maybe it's like over the years I just find new ways to speak about it. So maybe in the beginning I said self-identification dropping away, but now it feels too dramatic. I change the way I speak. Or maybe just things have changed here. Hi Lisa, over the past year or so, there has been some experiences felt here. One most predominant experience is not being able to call on memories unless they themselves choose to appear. It's like the mind is completely blank unless a memory chooses to appear. However, the senses of a person here is still strong. What is happening? I don't know. Could be there's something wrong with your brain. You might need to go and get it checked out by a specialist. But it could also be part of awakening, that because memory doesn't belong to who you are. Consciousness, when there's a deep collapsing into who you are, memory doesn't exist there, and life isn't happening on account of memory. And it's not so important what you used to be. What's important is what's here, and like a trust in life happening rather than you telling yourself a story of how life's happening. I don't know what's happening. If you say that there's still lots of identification, maybe it's something wrong with the thinking mind. You need to get checked out. But it could also be awakening. Who knows? Hi, Fatima. Hi, Enzo. Hi, Lisa. I hope you understand my English. I wonder how to difference between the heart and the mind, how to know. It supposes the heart is love, but I don't know what the love is anymore. Thank you. Hi, Enzo. The way you tell the difference between the heart and the mind is, what I would say the heart is what you are, which is life, and it's love. And love is intimacy. It's not being bound to anything. It's spacious, it's free, it's unconditioned. It's a natural way of being. It's like a gentle glow. It's what this life is made up of. Thank you. Hi Lisa, it's nice to see you sitting up because of the contrast. It's human behavior from someone who talks about not duality. So I don't have any impatience about it, or setting up, or expectation on how it's supposed to be. It's beautiful life happening. Besides, any situation that makes us reflect on our judgments and expectations is welcome. It shows the falseness of thought. Isn't that right? Yeah, for sure. And I do think that that's true. And I used to like my behavior or someone else's behavior. Doesn't make you happy or unhappy, and it's really super beautiful that you see that and that you get that, and I love it. But I also think on the human level it would be more respectful if I tried to not have that happening at the beginning of talks, when people have arrived at a certain time. But also it is a perfect lesson in that nothing really matters, whether I'm speaking or not. But on the human level, I want to respect the people that come on time. I don't mean to disrespect anyone. And I think it's important having these two lines and stating that, because I used to be more, as you all know, of the extreme non-duality, and I totally love it, but like the nothing matters. Like, this is it, nothing matters. So if I spend 2 hours setting up, it's free. It's freedom expressing. But then as I got more and more into this, I realized that people can use that to no end. And yes, if as a student you're open to really seeing that, or if you're really ready to see that there's nothing that creates your happiness, like happiness is, then that's a really beautiful lesson. And that's the true teaching. But I also began to dislike teachers who took that to such an extreme. Like so for an example, recently I was invited to She says you can trust your integrity, I think. Let me just feel that. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. I think though that I do have to put effort into this because on the human level, because if I didn't I would be late for everything. I mean, like Indian late. I'm talking like serious late. But yeah, I think so too. I mean, really, there's no answer for anything, just this moment. I just feel sad and compassion for people that come here at 6 p.m. to listen to the talk. I'm really late. But then at the same time, on the ultimate level, what does it matter? But that could be the most perfect teaching, to be sitting there for half an hour. If you really embrace what is, like what's happening, like really embrace it. And that's the ultimate teaching. But you do have to discern on the human level. Because I think that if I keep repetitively doing it, it is lack of respect. I don't always do it, but like if I keep being really late, it's lack of respect for people on the human level. But yeah, if you really, really go into this teaching, you see that nothing matters. Like every expectation that you have about this life, every way in which you think it has to go, it doesn't. Your freedom is the experiencing of it, of whatever's happening, even if it's annoyance towards me, or joy, or laughter, or silliness, or anger, or frustration. It's really just totally sinking into that this is it, and that's the ultimate teachings. I am careful with this though, because it hurts my heart when I see gurus abusing it to manipulate people. But I'm not abusing it to manipulate people. I just have dyslexia, and if you know what that is, I also have dyslexia and most probably dyspraxia, and not ADHD, but some form of I think it's more the dyslexia. It's like dyslexia is a complicated functioning of the brain, but it means that I struggle with the perception of time, and then with the awakening it's even stronger, and I struggle with reading, and I just struggle with practical things. But I have a super creative mind and very inventive, and really capable of thinking outside of any box and looking at it from multiple angles. But when it comes to practicality, it takes effort from my department to teach myself to do these things. You can think of me a bit like a mad scientist that just doesn't look like it. I am like that. But I don't want to disrespect anyone through that. I really wish everybody well. It's your integrity that makes you not go into extremes. I like the humanness about it. It's so grounding to see imperfections from you. Yeah. Feels really nice. Speaking with you, Helen. Don't know what happened. It's a sweet energy. Hey Amy, hi Lisa. Can you talk about why we get glimpses and then seem to lose them? What will make the realization stick and then the torture at the back and forwards? It's seeking. It's because there's uncompleted stories. There's still stuff that you believe freedom resides in happiness, in a feeling, in a sensation, a way of being, completing something. You still believe that one day you'll make it to something in time, and there's still an attachment to that idea. That's why you keep going back in. It's not that it doesn't stick, you already always are free. That realization always is here. It's that you come back to try to complete your dreams. Hey Livy. I've had openings before, but this was an unmistakable and now not there-ness of the one I knew as Levy, spaciousness, even vastness, calmness, but most tremendous easing of self-worry and entanglement. Would you have a sense of questions to ask or helpful next steps? Thank you again. Your videos have been a gift. My recommendation would be to not focus on the experiencing that happens on the human level. It can be really profound, the relaxation that happens in the character, and there can be lots of bliss and nice feelings, and it can be shocking to what it was before. But don't put focus on that. Or like focus might keep wanting to think about those things, or go to those places, but just see it come and go, and here you are. If you get too attached to the experience, then you'll be pulled back into seeking for an experience. So that would be my advice. Just let it happen. Hi, Jordan. There is what I'd like to share, but I'll try to make it short. Since a few months, I'm experiencing a lot of energetic movement inside my body. Sometimes for a few hours, I cannot focus on anything else. Each time one of those waves leaves, I feel more peace, more joy and simplicity. Sometimes it came with huge feelings, and I have to stay in my bed for hours. These days there is a huge fear of losing my mind. Perhaps it is the reflection of the loss of the reference point. Could you comment on it, please? With much love and gratitude, I wish life bring me to one of your meetings, Jordan. P.S. It started after experiencing a moment of infinity where the contracted sense of I dissolved, but this contraction came back. Yeah, so I'd say that that's the energetic release happening in the body. And just give it space and time, and try not to get lost in worry or thought about the future or what's happening. Just have a relaxedness with it. Let it come up, and that's great that when it's too strong, you just lay down in bed and give it space. And the losing the mind part, I don't know what that means and what that's in reference to. I don't know how much your mind is gripping you and making you feel like things are true. So that part, I'm unsure what that means. Hey Beth. I love the stream no matter what happens. Thanks, Asborn. Sweet. I just feel gratitude for how generously you share yourself. You have helped me so much. Thank you. Always pleasure, Thane. Thank you. Hi Lisa, good to hear you again. Do you see yourself manipulating people, and how do you manipulate people? How did you manage to write book with dyslexia? If nothing matters, then why don't we kill ourselves? Well, that's a very manipulating thing to say, Archming. Like, if nothing matters, why don't we kill ourselves? Well, that's something you're really trying to have an effect on me. That's very ignorant to think that you can't write a book with dyslexia. That's just ignorance on dyslexia. That's like believing that somebody has cerebral palsy couldn't write a book. If you learn and research about dyslexia, you realise it's got nothing to do with that. It's just lack of information. I wrote a whole play when I was younger, and I won a competition, and they put me in all the local newspapers and put me on the radio. And when I went on the radio, the lady knew enough about dyslexia to say it's ridiculous that people make a fuss that a dyslexic person writes a play. Of course they would. Einstein was dyslexic. It's more likely, there's a good chance that someone with dyslexia will write a play because of the way that they think. They're not so confined. So, if nothing matters, then why don't I kill yourself? That is a manipulation, a big manipulation. Like, you're trying to have an effect on me there. It's like you're trying to stab me in the heart. Like, poof, nothing matters, why don't we kill ourselves? So that's a manipulation if you're not aware of it. You can feel it in your heart, like it came with anger, and there was most probably a wanting to send a dagger at me because something I said hurt something in you. It's manipulation. I would say that I manipulate people, but I wouldn't call it manipulation. Like, manipulation tends to be more aggressive. but I'm happy to call it manipulation. Like, I don't want to try and make out I'm perfect or anything. But manipulation is more aggressive to me. So the word manipulation means like trying to gaslight someone, maybe, or trying to convince someone of something when you know it's not true. Like, it's more cunning and it's more devious and it's more nasty. It's got like a nasty coat to it. But it could also mean a manipulation, like we as humans are always having an effect on each other. And I think that's a better word than manipulation. So even by me speaking about this, I'm having an effect. Like, my heart wants to give love. My words want to express love, and that's having an effect on people. But in my day-to-day living, I'm always having an effect on people by the way that I act, the way that I speak to someone, what I do. And that effect might be negative or positive. And I try to reflect on my behaviour so that I don't influence people unethically. But I'm sure that I do. It'd be impossible not to. So just in the way that I speak to my partner or my boyfriend on a day-to-day interaction, like, I'm having an effect on him, and everything I'm saying and everything I'm doing, like when I do things, there's something I want. Like to express love is a big one, or to make them happy, or to indicate to them what they're doing I don't like. Whatever it is, there's an effect. We're always doing it, enlightened or not. Everyone is always doing that to each other. In everything you say, in the way you look at people, in the way you present yourself, you're having an effect. And I think the best thing on the human level we can do is become aware of the effects and how we're affecting people, and try to make it as open as possible, and know that all of us are going to affect people in negative ways. You can never be a perfect person. Just in the way that you might indicate to someone that you don't like their behaviour might give them the impression that they're really castrated or they feel really small. So if they reflect that back to you, then you can examine the way that you communicated to them that you don't like their behaviour, and you can attempt to change it. Like, sometimes when I'm uncomfortable with something, I'll try and say something with humour, but I'm really honest about it, and sometimes that can be shocking for people. So I try to adjust that to a meeting place with people, and they can have an effect on me. And this is part of human interaction. This is the way it is. This is how we interact with each other. Okay, I base my question on dyslexia from saying of my friend that is trying to write a book, and she tells me that it's quite hard. I have no idea what effects it may have. I agree with it. Do not take it personally. I did take it personally. I'm used to the comments about dyslexia. When I was younger, I said to my gran, I think my dad's dyslexic. My dad was dyslexic. And she turned around and she said, I was only like about 7 years old. She went, no, your father's not stupid, Lisa. So I've had so many judgments about my dyslexia. I'm quite comfortable in it, but I am very firm. It doesn't, just because writing a book's hard doesn't mean that a dyslexic person can't write one. Again, that's another judgment. Sure, I try to manipulate you. Why shouldn't I? Every interaction is someone manipulation, action, reaction. Yeah. Manipulation, though, to me, I used to use the word manipulation, but manipulation to me is too aggressive. I would say an effect on someone. You're trying to affect people. Manipulation to me is more when it's from a nasty place. I think that you, by saying if nothing matters, then why don't we try and kill ourselves? I think that was an attempt of nastiness from you, Arching. It was like a bitchy thing, like, take that, poof. But yeah, in the other ways, then you're In other ways, you try to have an effect. And then to that question, if nothing matters, then why don't we kill ourselves? Don't be ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's totally misunderstanding what I say. Nothing matters right here. On the human level, things matter. It matters that you pay your bill or you do this or you do that. But on the ultimate level, it doesn't matter. And if you listen to my talks long enough, you'll hear those differences that I distinguish between the human level and the absolute level. On the human level, it's important to feel like you have power, like you can do things, like things matter. But on the absolute level, nothing matters. And the reason that humans suffer so much is because they've forgotten their infinite nature and they're too identified with it mattering. But on the ultimate level, nothing matters. It's free. And the reason that you want to have an effect on me, I'll guess, by saying that, is it's a rebelliousness against teachers. Because you feel they can't bring you what you want, but there's something that you want from them, which I can't. I can't give you what you want. What you want is emptiness, but there's something you also want from me. It's unconscious. Okay, my lovelies, that's enough. I'm going to go and walk Khaleesi now. There was somebody that was going to come and walk her, but they have forgotten. So I will go and take her for a walkies. Thank you for bearing with the stream tonight. Sorry about all. And I wish you everything. And I will see you this Sunday. Over the next month, I am traveling a lot on and off. And so please look on my website to make sure that I'm streaming that day. Don't just assume I am. Lots of love. Thanks, guys. Bye.